Witam wszystkich w kolejnym odcinku Zagrajmy w Kingdom Come Deliverance. W poprzednim odcinku musieliśmy uciekać z rodzinnej skalicy z powodu najazdu armii Zygmunta. Teraz zobaczymy, co się będzie działo dalej. Idźmy za panem Bożkiem. Porozmawiajmy z nim.
I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach. I heard about your father. They say he was a swordsmith who moved to the countryside to make horseshoes. I can't understand why he'd waste his talents, but I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation.
Milady. You are fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
My lady, I'm honored.
So this is our brave young man. Welcome, lad. Bożena here will take care of you. No doubt you're tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear. Aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
And a little wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the Outer Bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
Oh, God. Eat. Food.
Dobrze, posilmy się, bo Henryk już widać, że nie może wytrzymać. Cóż, została nam przedstawiona cała szlachta Stamberga. A teraz chyba musimy odpocząć po tych wszystkich przeżyciach, które nas spotkały. Zbieramy wszystko. Dobrze, jabłka. Spróbujmy zjeść z kotła, żeby zaoszczędzić sobie rzeczy, które zebraliśmy. Jak widać, to nie wystarczy, więc przejdźmy do ekwipunku. Tak zresztą wygląda ekwipunek, jak możemy zobaczyć. Podzielony jest na 6 sekcji, że się tak wyrażę. Broń, zbroja, jadło, przedmioty fabularne i inne. W innych to mamy różne tam klucze, grosze, różne takie po prostu rzeczy. Wytrychy też się tu znajdują. A tutaj jak nazwa. Zbroja, broń, jadło. Dobrze, posilmy się. Zjedzmy może chleb. Kapustę. Się dosyć szybko psuje. Właśnie tutaj przedmioty, jeżeli chodzi o jedzenie, one z czasem się psują i jeżeli zejdą poniżej 50, nazwijmy to oczywiście nie jest to opisane, ale nazwijmy to, że powiedzmy, jeżeli zejdzie to poniżej 50%, to jedzenie będzie miało mniejszą wartość, możemy się nim zatruć i wtedy będziemy musieli udać się wykupić bądź sporządzić jakąś odtrutkę. Maksymalnie możemy mieć 120 punktów strawy i teraz wam coś pokażę. Powiedzmy zjem sobie do 119, bo więcej już Henryk nie zje, jakby nawet chciał, bo powyżej to daje nam jakby dwie, powiedzmy, jednostki strawy, tak? A mamy 119, a powyżej 119 nie możemy mieć, więc jeżeli przejemy się, pojawi się taka ikonka z takim dzikiem na samym dole po prawej stronie i wtedy też nasza wytrzymałość zostanie ograniczona z tego powodu, że jesteśmy przyjedzeni. Dobrze. Co możemy jeszcze tu zrobić? Aha, mieliśmy iść się przespać, ale być może jeszcze zdołamy z kimś tu porozmawiać. Spróbujmy. Okej. Tutaj z nikim nie porozmawiamy. Zostajemy, też nie porozmawiamy. O! Chyba ten wieśniak chciał do nas powiedz, tak mi się wydaje. O właśnie, czekamy na coś. Możemy tutaj porozmawiać o tym. Spróbujmy użyć retoryki.
It seemed like any other day. And then I saw thick smoke rising above the hamlet of Rovna. Soon, Sigismund's army were finished there and came for us. The order to attack must have come even before the alarm bell rang.
God preserve us.
Dobrze,
We
jeszcze
all
raz
ran towards
retoryka.
the castle for shelter, but they were too fast for us. They slaughtered everyone they caught and torched their houses. I barely escaped, and they murdered my parents.
The Lord have mercy. I'm terribly sorry. May the Lamb of God comfort you.
Okej. Czy jeszcze ktoś z nami będzie chciał porozmawiać? Lepiej jeszcze nie wchodźmy. Okej. Chyba już z nikim tu więcej nie porozmawiamy, więc musimy się położyć spać, prześpijmy się. Bo mamy dodatkowo kolejną ikonkę, też tą bliżej paska zdrowia po prawej stronie. Ona nam pokazuje, że jesteśmy senni i musimy się przespać. No, sen też musimy zapewnić w tej grze sobie też dobry sen, gdyż wiadomo, każdy człowiek musi być wypoczęty. Pójdźmy spać. No i możemy sobie też ustawić, ile chcemy spać. Ta scenka będzie raczej oskryptowana, ale dajmy na to, że chcemy się wyspać do godziny 7 następnego dnia.
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, no, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine. It's just what you need to help you sleep.
My lady, thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to, but to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either. I thought of you while saying my prayers. How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you. But I want you to feel at home here. You're not to worry about anything except getting better. God knows you've been through a terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
Opowiedzmy o tej naszej historii, co tam się wydarzyło w Skalicy.
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It was terrible and unexpected. The day started just like any other. Father sent me into town on some errands.
Użyjmy retoryki.
I went to the tavern to buy ale for father. I know it's a job for a groom, but I didn't mind, because my girl Bianca worked there. I courted her a while and we agreed to meet in the evening, but our meeting was never to happen.
Oh, dear boy.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig.
Może użyjmy tym razem charyzmy.
The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig
O
himself
charyzmie
came to
jeszcze
have a look
później
at it.
opowiem.
He praised father's work and said that with his smithing skills, he could easily make a living in Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town.
Okej, jeszcze raz charyzma.
A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses whinnied impatiently. They were waiting for Sigismund to give the command to attack.
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz.
Może powiedzmy o Niemcu.
I saw Deutsch trying to defend himself. The man who'd mocked King Wenceslas as a drunkard and praised Sigismund now stood facing his soldiers with nothing but a pitchfork, trying to protect his wife and son. It was hopeless. He slaughtered them all.
That's so sad.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle.
No i rozpoczęło się oblężenie.
I no longer heard any sounds of battle coming from the castle, so Sigismund's army must have regrouped and started preparing for siege.
No doubt you're right.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
That's terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he lets such things happen.
You poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding. Those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors he went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then, he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Harville punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm old man.
Sir Divish seems like a good, strong man.
Certainly, only he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on. And now, we're here.
My lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of you.
Would that that were true, lad. Would it were true. But what am I doing bothering you with this? You have troubles enough of your own. I'll go and let you sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
Więc przed chwilą zdjęliśmy z siebie trochę tego brzemia, opowiadając pani Szczepance tak naprawdę o tym, co się zdarzyło. Dodatkowo, jak widać, Henryka dręczą koszmary. Obwinia się za śmierć swojej rodziny, za to, że musiał uciekać zamiast im pomóc na miejscu. A tymczasem Pan Bożek wzywał nas, abyśmy stawili się na murach i że coś się tutaj dzieje. Rozmawiajmy z jednym strażnikiem, może czegoś się dowiemy.
Good day to you.
You know what's happening?
Sigismund, who else? That bastard conquered Skalitz and now he's come to take Talmberg.
Strażnicy obawiają się, że to nadciąga armia króla Zygmunta. Nie zwlekajmy. Idźmy do pana Bożka. O, stoi tutaj razem z panem Dziewiczem. Rozmawiajmy z nim.
What's going on?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why would Sigismund advance on Talmberg in the night? Especially since he'd lost the elemental surprise after the raid on Skalitz.
Maybe it's not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Jivish sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And so Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
Halt! Who
minion. Who else, Robber?
Sir Ansig, what a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir, he is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Radzik, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
Thank God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left us storming the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Ratai. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir!
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
I've seen you've grown a thick skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will. And good luck to you and your people, too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out! It's only a short way to Rattay now!
Men, tonight we'll have triple patrols. Sort out the watches between you as always. And if I catch anyone boozing, playing dice or slacking off, I'll personally break every bone in his body. I want you to keep a close eye on everything nearby. Sigismund will surely have sent spies, and likely men as well, to follow the Skalitz people, now he knows they've fled. Keep your eyes peeled. Report everything to me at once. Understood?
Dobrze, tak więc tutaj pan Bożek i Dziwisz obawiali się, że być może to armia Zygmunta nadciąga. Aczkolwiek okazało się, że to nasz stary znajomy, czyli pan Radzik Kobyła. I okazuje się, że udało mu się uciec ze Skalicy pod osłoną tej burzy, tych zmiennych warunków pogodowych i tak też historycznie przyjmuje się, że tylko dzięki temu zdołał on uciec z oblężonego zamku. Dobrze, rozmawiajmy z panem Bożkiem.
What is it you need?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch at the battlements with my men?
Is that a request or an order?
I'd rather it was a request you answered yesterday.
Of course I have. I'll have to pay you back somehow after all you've done.
Splendid. And don't worry. I'll tell the men to relieve you later. Love you with you.
Dobrze, czyli mamy tutaj trochę pochodzić po tym murze. Przy warcie. A zanim to zrobimy, rozmawiajmy może jeszcze ze strażnikami.
Jesus Christ be praised.
What do you think about the Skalitz folk managing to slip away like that?
I can't imagine how they did it. The more I think about it, they was either blessed or Sigismund's mercenary army ain't up to much. When you're on campaign, you keep watch no matter how much it's pissing down. If any of us make such a cock-up, Sir Robard will flay the skin off our backs.
You only say that because you never saw them attack.
Aye, well, it's a...
Wandering around like a stray sheep.
Przerwał nam rozmowę.
Must be your first watch, eh? I don't think anything much will be happening today. You can just lean against the wall and wait till morning. I'll show you what's what.
I will. Thank you.
Nieładnie jest przerywać nam rozmowę, kolego, ale dobrze. To była skryptowana scenka po prostu. Z tego co wiem, nie, jeszcze nie otrzymaliśmy. I teraz tak, naszym zadaniem jest tutaj tak naprawdę przewinąć czas. Podchodzimy sobie przykładowo do muru, wciskamy T, to jest kolejna opcja, bo przyspieszać czas możemy na dwa sposoby. Albo się położyć i wtedy nasza energia się podbudowuje, ewentualnie przewinąć czas. Wtedy nasza energia spada, ale możemy przewinąć czas nie śpiąc do pewnego momentu. Zróbmy to. O, coś nam przerwało. Coś się dzieje.
See how the self-appointed king wins the love and respect of his loyal subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. We may be in for a surprise, though. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Skalitz and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markwart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king, and here in Talmberg divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday, His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Sir Radzig Kobyla, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know, the Sir Radzig of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzig is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your army?
Am I to inform the king then that the Radzig Kobyla is not at Talmberg and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzig Kobyla is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish. I will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
Dobrze, myślę, że w tym momencie zakończymy sobie odcinek. Jak mogliśmy zauważyć, dowiedzieliśmy się bardzo wielu interesujących rzeczy. Ten człowiek, który zabił naszych rodziców, nazywa się Markwart z ulic. Co ciekawe, również jest on postacią historyczną. I najlepsze jest to, że zginął w 1403 roku. To też jest ciekawostka, a gra dzieje się właśnie w 1403 roku. Dobrze, w takim razie zakończę sobie w tym momencie odcinek i jak zwykle komentujcie, lajkujcie, a tymczasem trzymajcie się, pa!